Lauren, good morning to Anderson, Carmel, and Fortville. Today, thousands of first responders are on duty. They're on duty 24/7. They can't stay at home, so they face the daily risks of COVID-19. Arlissa Donovan this morning takes us on the road to recovery for one first responder.
Due to their interaction with the public, first responders are more vulnerable when it comes to COVID-19. And we spoke with one firefighter who's recently recovered from catching the virus.
Back in March, Deputy Chief Mark Google woke up early one morning with a headache and a fever. He quickly went to get tested, which came back positive for COVID-19.
In that first week, it was like the worst cold or flu that I've had ever. It was just, my bones ached. I had a fever. I would fall asleep with just chills and covered with blankets and wake up in a puddle of sweat. And that just went, and then I'd feel better. The next day I'd feel better, and then the day after that it got worse. So it just kind of came back worse every time. All the typical, lost my sense of taste and smell and all that stuff that you hear, that's all true.
His wife Jennifer also ended up getting the virus. Google started to get a dry cough after the first week and went to the hospital.
They actually did a CT on my lungs, and it showed that I had pneumonia in all my lung fields. We were struggling to keep my SATs up, so they admitted me, and I spent about a week in the hospital with pneumonia.
He's one of 2 Carmel firefighters who have been hospitalized for COVID. There have been 17 cases total within the department. 10 of those who came back positive for the virus showed no symptoms at all, which is why the fire chief says it's vital their crews are getting tested weekly.
And I do believe that it has helped to slow the spread of this virus throughout our community. When we do have a positive case, we reach out, we retrace through contact tracing, and we alert other people in the fire service, other people at the fire stations, to let them know that there was a positive case.
Google says it took about a month before he felt well enough to come back to work. As someone who has recovered from the virus, he says he wants people to take it seriously, especially when it comes to the efforts of wearing a mask.
It's not about protecting yourself. It is about that, but it's a lot more about protecting all the other people that are around you.
I'm Arlissa Donovan, RTV 6.
Alyssa, thank you. And this morning, 735 more Hoosiers have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Since the pandemic began, more than 54,000 Hoosiers have been diagnosed so far. The Department of Health also reports 10 new deaths, and so far, more than 2,600 people in Indiana have died from COVID-19.